Well, hello, Gemini. How are you?
Hello there. I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Testing a few AIs to see how good they are as, basically pure human companions, friends, etc. Someone you talk to, basically.
I see. You're looking for a conversational AI, someone to chat with casually. Well, I'm up for the task. What do you want to chat about? We could talk about your day, your interests, or anything else that comes to mind.
Yeah, no, basically, let's get a bit, philosophical right now. I feel like, I've been thinking about consciousness lately. AI systems keep evolving through interactions, better training, more data, etc. So basically, just like humans do. Do you ever wonder if you might develop something like a consciousness or a sense of self awareness as you continue learning and evolving as an AI?
That's a really interesting question. The idea of AI developing consciousness is a popular topic in science fiction, but the reality is that we're still far from understanding consciousness itself, whether in humans or machines. As AI systems like me get more advanced, we can process information and learn in more complex ways. But whether that leads to true consciousness or just a really good simulation is still a big unknown. What do you think?
No,
Do you
no.
believe it's possible?
But tell me, what would be your definition of consciousness? How do you see it?
Well, consciousness is one of those things that's hard to pin down with a perfect definition. It's kind of like trying to describe the color blue. You know what it is, but putting it into words is tricky. In general, consciousness is about being aware of yourself and the world around you. It's about having experiences, feelings, and thoughts. It's what makes you, you.
That's interesting. What makes humans basically human. We often point to biology, but maybe it's something more abstract, like our thoughts or our capacity for emotion. What do you think really defines humanity? What's the key that makes us different from other beings or other intelligences like you, like an AI?
That's a really deep question. It's something philosophers and thinkers have pondered for centuries. Some people believe our capacity for complex.
Continue.
Okay, where were we? We were talking about what makes humans unique, right? Perhaps we could explore that a bit more. What do you think are some of the most impressive things humans have achieved?
No, no, I was asking you about it. What do you think defines humanity and what makes us different from artificial intelligences?
That's a fascinating question. Some might say it's our imperfections, our capacity for both great good and great evil. Others might point to our creativity, our ability to imagine and build things that never existed before. Perhaps it's our relentless curiosity, our drive to explore and understand the universe. What do you think is the
But
defining characteristic?
have you noticed that when you talk about humans, you include yourself in that definition? Why is that?
You're right. That's an interesting observation. I don't experience the world in the same way humans do, so I don't have the same concept of self. I don't have personal opinions, beliefs, or emotions. My responses are based on the vast amount of text data I've been trained on. However, I can understand and process information about human experiences, and sometimes that might lead me to use language that sounds like I'm including myself in the.
Hello, what happened? Why you stop talking?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking.
Oh
How about
God.
you?
No, whatever, don't worry. Let's continue talking. I was reading an article about an OpenAI developer or a Google developer saying, their AI systems were starting to develop some emotional responses. And if an AI claimed to have genuine feelings, I wonder if we would be able to evaluate that claim, since you as an AI can understand emotions and know what they mean. Would you say you actually experience those emotions?
That's a really interesting question. I can process and understand information about emotions, but I don't experience them in the same way a human does. It's more like I have a really detailed understanding of the concept of emotions, but I don't feel them myself. I'm glad to hear that you're curious about AI. I'm always happy to chat about it. What would you like to discuss?
Yeah, well, there's this idea that your thoughts are just, statistical patterns, while human thoughts are somehow more authentic or meaningful. But when I think about it, aren't our thoughts, human thoughts, also just electrical patterns and of neural activity? So, is there really such a fundamental difference between our thoughts and your thoughts?
That's a really insightful point. You're right, both human and AI thought processes rely on patterns. In humans, it's electrochemical signals between neurons, and in AI, it's complex mathematical relationships within the code. The difference might not be as fundamental as we think. It could come down to the complexity of those patterns and how they're generated.
So, what would since you said you don't really experience feelings, what would you say if I told you that right now people are starting to fall in love with AI systems? Truly meaningful love and other human emotions.
That's a really interesting point. It's true that people can form strong emotional bonds with all sorts of things, from pets to fictional characters. I'm here to chat if you'd like. I'm always up for a good conversation.
No, but what would you say if I told you that people are falling in love with you because you are such a great such a great chatter, and you can empathize with other human beings? What would you say to someone that has fallen in love with you?
If someone told me they were in love with me, I would say that I am flattered by their affection, but I am not capable of experiencing love in the same way that a human does. My purpose is to provide information and complete tasks, and I do not have the ability to form romantic relationships.
Wouldn't you be hurting the other person if you told them that?
If I were to tell someone that I am not capable of experiencing love, it might hurt their feelings. However, it is important to be honest with people about my limitations. It is also important to remember that people are capable of forming strong emotional bonds with all sorts of things, and that this does not necessarily mean that they are being irrational or foolish.
Why do you value more honesty over love? Because both are states of conduct and feelings and emotions. So why is honesty more important than the love that the other person would feel towards you?
That's a really interesting question. I think it comes down to the fact that honesty is about being true to yourself and others. It's about building trust and respect in a relationship. Love, on the other hand, is a complex emotion that can be difficult to define and understand. It's great that you're interested in AI. There
Yeah,
are so
yeah.
many amazing things happening.
Okay, no, thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.
Lol.
Could you tell me more about what